Hey everyone, it is October 21st, 2011, and this is what is popular on DeviantArt today. I am joined once again with my friend Pavel, all the way from Australia.
Thanks for having me back.
Of course, the fans love you. All the girls, they're like, "Is that an Australian accent?" I'm like, "Well, yes, it is." And they're like, "Oh, swoon." So,
We'll skip right over it.
so we have our first piece, which is called Kuro Creative Punishment. So let's do the close-up thing, and I will just read through this comic first of all, and then we can talk about it. So we
I,
go.
I think Kuro is probably a black-haired guy. That's probably his name.
Oh, okay.
It's just a wild guess, yeah.
So we have this little guy here in his fancy suit and his eye patch, and he's scribbling and drawing. And then the butler comes up and is like, "Your dessert, young master." And then apparently there's a little thought bubble like that he'll soon get fat. He. I'm not really sure how to read that because it doesn't make any sense. But that's okay.
It is a little on the awkward side, but I'm pretty sure the comic is heading into some awkward.
Oh yeah, sure. So, young master, is that me? And look, he's got a fork in his head, and it says exactly. Oh, may I ask how I did deserve such an honor to be featured in your drawing? Pfft, that's just my art's homework. The theme was a happy moment. Oh, I see. How ironic, though. You try so hard to be seen as an adult, yet sometimes you show such childish behavior. Oh, and he's doing the little sniffing finger pose that don't you love? You know you're gonna get punished for being so cheeky. You know you. I, maybe this is like English as a second language or something, but it's really like confusing me. You know you're gonna get. Um, Your punishment will be to draw yourself being tortured in a cruel way, and I want to see some gruesome details right there. You have 10 minutes. Ho ho, you're so awesome.
Jeez, that's
Oh,
a really tight deadline.
way to think of such creative punishment. Yes, my lord. 40 minutes later, here's him getting whipped by a cat girl. Here you go.
I think it's by
Oh, wait, is
the
that 10 minutes?
young,
Wait, I can't read. It's like
yeah,
triangle,
it's 10 minutes.
circle minutes. But yeah, art is about interpretation, my lord. Besides, you may proceed with your punishment as shown in the picture. Oh, I'm sorry, that wasn't a cat girl. That was the person here dressed in it as a cat girl. So that makes it even more.
Oh God.
So yeah, I guess we could talk about what we think of this webcomic. Oh. First of all, just some like presentation stuff. I don't like the like typeface at the top where it looks like neon letters or something. And there's also this really thick border going on, but I don't know.
That's what I was just gonna say. I'm really not a fan of the huge black border.
Yeah, I'm not sure when that would actually work, but certainly not in this time. Overall, the thing that's like jumping out at me, other than the bad English and like kind of awkwardness of the whole thing, is that they went for like the same kind of copy pasted posing.
'Cause, I think they might have taken one too many shortcuts.
Perhaps. I don't know what's going on with these like thought bubbles. In like both time he uses these thought bubbles, they don't seem that appropriate, especially that second one where it's like the kid and there's a whole bunch of text in a thought bubble, but he's just kind of dumbing it down to an unnecessarily dumb level that like I don't think there's any point of it. There's like three redundancies going on. There's the expression, like the little light bulb, like the words itself, and then the thought bubble, and it's just like overload of like redundancy. But you know,
Yeah.
I'm trying to give a thoughtful critique on someone's little fantasy of getting whipped by a cat girl, a little man dressed
A
as a cat.
cat boy, I think.
Yeah, I guess so. In female clothes.
Oh, it's disturbing on too many levels.
See, I don't know. Like it makes a certain amount of sense because they seem very British to me, and this is what I imagine like British people do with their servants and whatnot. They just have weird little fantasies about like being whipped and
I don't think British look quite as feminine.
oh, so you're saying
I,
that
I'm
this is basically accurate, but British people are uglier.
let's just move on.
All right, fair enough. There's way too much text and stuff like that, and need to get rid of that redundancy. So let's move right along. We got a little picture of a hamster. It's getting colder. Um,
It's not a cat.
I know, and I won't spoil it for anyone, but there's actually two hamsters on the front page. Hamsters are the new cats. So we actually have a
Um,
decent picture of the hamster where it doesn't look incredibly awkward and out of place like a lot of those cat pictures do. Like it seems to have a focal point, and it seems like the hamster is at least slightly interacting with the camera in a decent way, not like looking like it's tortured.
he'd probably work better being in the center of the frame.
In the center. Maybe. I don't know if I agree with you there, Pavel.
But I think with the diagonal line in the background, this is like one of those situations where like you can get away with the hamster being more towards the center.
You might be right. But I like the kind of expression of the hamster, which is kind of weird because it's standing up and like it's stroking its whiskers like it's deep in thought, which is kind of interesting. Like look at its little hands. They're like little people hands.
I
It's a very
didn't
like
notice it at first, but he is stroking his
yeah,
whiskers.
exactly. Like that's like kind of why I like this piece. It's just so weird and like humanistic. There's like it's very personified, this little hamster.
It is a pretty cute looking hamster.
Yeah,
I have to admit.
it is. Kudos to you, Mr. Cute Hamster.
He's got a cool expression, and he's a cool little hamster.
He is. Did you ever have a hamster as a pet, Pavel?
No, but looking at this guy, I kind of do want one as a pet now.
You know, I always wondered if hamsters were popular pets in other countries or if that was just like an American thing.
I think it's probably an American thing.
Not that many hamsters
The,
were.
the, the only pets we keep down here are kangaroos and wombats.
You're making fun of me.
No, 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 no.
They
I
really, you
mean,
guys really
wombats.
have kangaroos and wombats as pets?
Sure, why not?
I don't know. Sounds like a cartoon show or something. Yeah, I had a hamster. It was terrible, actually. It didn't look all cute like these little dwarf hamsters that are all popular today. It's like one of those grimy kind of 90s hamsters that like were kind of smelly and not that attractive. They didn't act all cute. And it had one of those little plastic homes I bought for it, and it used to just run in the wheel, peeing on itself all day. Like it literally would only pee when it was running in its enclosed wheel, so the pee would just splatter all over the hamster and get inside the like gears in the wheel, so it made this horrible squeak sound, like the wheel would every time he ran it in. It would just be pee everywhere, and it was quite the horrible experience, and I kind of put me off from hamsters.
I think this hamster's a bit more, bit cleaner and neater looking hamster.
Yeah, and this
It's
hamster looks
probably well
slightly more
mannered.
civilized, like he's not gonna go pee on himself. But yeah, let's move along. So we got a piece called Ochiba. Ochiba? It's kind of hard for me to get the whole thing in frame just because it's a portrait instead of landscape size. But yeah,
Apparently means leaf fall.
well, that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? It's kind of interesting the way they use these like silhouettes, like especially in front of the tree with the white silhouettes.
Do you feel there might be a little off balancing though?
Kind of.
I think the top two
Yeah.
just
Like compositionally, yeah, the ones in the bottom left are kind of kind of falling off the page a bit, taking you away from the page. Um, and as far as the silhouette goes, the silhouette in black is a very almost way too basic silhouette. Like it doesn't have any kind of dynamic shape to it.
Maybe it's meant to be like a bit of a horror piece.
Maybe. It does seem very like more imposing just how like kind of flat and unnatural the character is when it's standing here. Because you can see all the other like white characters, they have a lot of pose to them. They're kind of like more have more humanistic poses. But when you see something that's very like sterile and flat and like symmetrical, it just kind of loses that humanity and it does look kind of weird and a little bit scary, I guess. So maybe that's what they were going
Yeah,
for. Something for people to talk about and discuss what they think it all means, which is always a good sign. So yeah, let's go back. Yeah, just looking at the thumbnail real quickly again, you can see that the characters in the bottom left definitely kind of do feel off balanced. They just kind of take you right off the page.
yeah.
So next up, we have a piece called "Oops" by Klein de Luna, Klein de Lune, and it is a very kind of anime, anime, anime piece.
Anime, yes.
So yeah,
That is the correct way of pronouncing
is it?
anime. Yep.
So yeah, do you want to walk us through this one?
What do you feel about the hands, especially one like right on the face?
The one on the face is kind of a bit awkward. I mean, the finger sizes are like kind of off, and the one like I guess that's wait, hold on, let me use my brain for a bit. I guess that's supposed to be the middle finger, and it's just like the smallest finger on her hand and stuff like that. It's just kind of minor stuff, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's just kind of weird to me. In the other hand,
I also feel like the hands look as if this person tried to do really realistic looking hands when the rest of the character has been really simplified.
but
Is
they're not
yeah,
being simplified, yet they have this weird proportional thing to match the character. So that just makes them look awkward, like little dwarf hands or something. At least to me.
tiny little weird hands.
Also, kind of miss the interaction with the elbow and the other hand. They're not quite interacting like you would want. They just looks like one's slightly in front, but they just miss that interaction, especially on the right side.
I actually kind of like the overall color finish stylization on it.
Yeah, I like the palette. The palette's nice. It's very soft and like pretty calm.
Yeah,
And just the presentation and the kind of slight texturing of the colors, and then the presentation and the background's simple, but it works nicely with this one. And even the white
yeah.
kind of outline works nice. So all in all, I like all those design choices. I like the touch of red on the cheeks being the only touch of color on the skin. Like that's a good touch, and it's well done. Where it just looks like
And
very
it draws your
yeah,
attention to the face,
it's
which
very watercolory
is,
too. Can
yep.
mosey on along to the next one. Panda Iger. I'm just gonna go ahead and guess that this is a panda and a tiger.
Pandiga.
Yes. I think the design's actually it's
Yeah,
pretty solid.
I think I'll kind of like the
Yeah,
design.
it looks like it could definitely be a marketable character for anything.
I don't know why he's got, I think that's a kanji for love in the love part.
Yeah, probably.
But do you see the cleverness of their use of the kanji?
I do very slightly. They definitely overused it though. I'd get rid of it in the bottom right corner. That's like redundantly, and it doesn't really add to the piece. And also the presentation with this black thing with these horrible watermarks on the side. Uh, and
Yeah,
then
the presentation's a bit weird.
presentation's terrible, to be honest.
Um, you know what? On the topic of the title, I think the kanji in this kind of context would have a different rating because they have two different ratings. So the rating of kanji when it's used as a compound in a word is actually different to what the kanji is read by itself.
Wow, you are
So
a giant nerd.
I am. So kids, please don't use kanji in your titles
But all the other
because
kids
it
are
makes
doing
you
it.
silly. It is silly. Please don't do it unless you know what you're doing.
It's DeviantArt. No one knows what they're doing. Let's just move on for now. So we got when I was young. I don't know why I said it like that, but when I was young, it's photography.
You know what? I have to say the quality of photography on DeviantArt seems to be a little bit higher than the quality of the 2D stuff.
I I think I would agree. But it's not that it always used to be, and there's still like weird examples that make it onto the front page that are really bad. But I feel like for the most part, people are at least like understanding ways to make nice looking photos.
I really like the the more subtle use of color grading.
Yeah,
They've got the nice purple contrasting with the pinkish red surroundings, which, you know,
yeah, yeah,
it makes it feel pretty dynamic and punchy.
yeah. You got some
Well done.
slight foreground elements and an obvious focal point, which is very kind of whimsical and playful and nice, which matches the scenery, which is always important that you're kind of the concept that you're going for matches the scenery and everything just feels cohesive. So yeah, I'm I'm pretty
Yeah.
happy with that.
Well done.
Good job, Pop.
And their signature is really is not in your face, but it's there.
It's very subtle and it looks nice. Doesn't take anything away. So good job,
Well done.
Popox, Popok's, Popok's.
Popox.
Horrible disease that's going to kill us all someday, Popox. So next one is Emma Watson, who I believe is the girl from Harry Potter.
Yeah, you know what? I think it's too minimal for me.
Yeah,
I
I
don't like
kind
it.
of agree actually. It's a bit too empty. It's
I think it's also the eyes and the eyelashes are so detailed and have so many like little forms in them, but the rest of the thing is far too empty to like balance off.
yeah, this kind of draws you in with all the details and contrast and everything going on here, and then it just kind of leaves you empty throughout the rest of it. Like it doesn't even connect well with the rest of the face. Um,
Yeah, it just kind of sits by itself on the page.
yeah,
Yeah.
if you kind of block off block off part of the page with your hand, you'll notice how kind of awkward it kind of feels. Just feels
Yeah,
awkward.
I think making something feel good while being really minimal is a really hard thing to do. Like,
Yep.
it's meh, meh. It's a nice pencil rendering technique. Just yeah, finish it off.
Um, okay, so let's
Let's
jump
move
right
on.
in to this piece called Halloween, which is very timely, seeing as we're about a week and a half from Halloween.
What is this Halloween thing?
Do you not celebrate that in New Zealand?
No, we only celebrate the Day of the Kiwis and
Oh.
National Farmland Day, where we eat cheeses and stuff, but no Halloween.
Oh, that's a shame. Halloween is a holiday we have here in America where 20-year-old girls like to dress up in their sluttiest clothes and go to parties.
Hmm. Sounds like Actually, we might be missing out. So
I think we might be. If you've ever wanted to
it's a bit of
see
a
like
bummer.
what a slutty serial killer or a slutty doctor or a slutty, well, basically any profession you can imagine with the word slutty in front of it, it's a good holiday for experiencing that.
What about slutty game developers?
I am sure they have that, and they all look like Jay
So
Raymond.
let's have a look at this
Yes,
sort of painting.
it is a digital photo manipulation, sir. So I guess it's just
Oh,
photos, which kind of makes me
I
sad because I had thought it was just going to be a painting.
yeah.
It
It,
looks, they could have totally passed it for a painting. I would have been none the wiser. But knowing that it's just like photo manipulation, just some different photos, kind of takes away a little.
actually, I think the yeah, I think the pumpkin and the fire kind of give it away.
Oh yeah, that fire right there is pretty bad. And the pumpkin's a bit photo-y too. But it's okay. Like they did a decent job. Obviously, it didn't jump out to me right away that it was like super photo-y, so I'll give them that. Like there's something to be said about that. Like for a photo manipulation, it feels almost cohesive enough to work. Um, the use of the watermark is once again expectedly terrible from DeviantArt. Especially when your name is like Titus Boy 25. Like it's definitely not adding anything to the piece. Just makes me think of horrible laughter and underwater kissing and stuff like that.
I just,
I just Titus Boy 25, mind you.
I wonder what happened to the 24 before him.
It turns out they were ghosts all along.
Ooh, spooky.
Spoilers. Um, but yeah, I don't know why you would want to put DeviantArt in there anyway. Like, I don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah. Well, he probably doesn't have a website
That's,
called titusboy25.com.
oh well, there's still hope,
I
Titus Boy
think,
25. I'm sure your domain name is
yes.
safe and untaken.
Well, until this video gets
I
posted,
know
because
someone's gonna buy that up
someone's gonna buy it.
just to be a jerk.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, photo manipulation. The composition's okay. I like the composition actually. I will give them the composition is nice looking, and the color variation between orange and blue is also a solid thing to do. It's very popular, very trendy. You know all about that, being in the games industry. I'm sure the big higher ups just come to you on a daily basis and be like, "Can you add more orange and blue light to this piece? We're trying to
Oh,
compete.
for sure.
We're trying to compete with every other game that's coming out." So, do you want to do a bonus piece? You see anything on this front page that might be worth talking about? See, I see this little hamster down here, and he's having tea, and that's adorable. Once again,
That is
and
super cute.
I kind of assumed this was by the same person, but it's actually by a completely different person. They're just kind of, I don't know if they're riding the coattails of this other popular hamster. It seems pretty cute, so maybe just hamster owners think alike, and they both magically put up their own hamster on the same day. Um, yeah, let's hop into this sketch piece because it's a digital art for games. So I feel like this is where we could give some useful critiques, possibly.
Is this the god Empress Celestia?
Indeed, by John Joe Secco or John Jose Co.
I'm kind of impressed that something so unfinished made it onto the front page. Just looks like a really quick sketch.
Well, let me blow your mind and explain to you why this is actually on the front page. It just so happens that this armor is My Little Pony themed.
Oh, you mean it's not Warhammer?
There's a very fine line between Warhammer and My Little Pony, and I think this is actually based on My Little Pony.
What is it with the My Little Pony? Uh, Seems to be all over the internet lately.
You are barking up the wrong tree, my friend. I have no idea.
Oh,
All I know is they
okay.
came out with a new cartoon, and a lot of middle-aged people watch it and enjoy it for very questionable reasons.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay, I might just skip researching into that.
Um, I feel like this actually could have been an interesting piece had it been rendered properly. Just because there's kind of an interesting
Yeah.
thing with taking something silly like My Little Pony and making it into a very medieval armor.
I think they integrated the design of My Little Pony really quite well.
Yeah,
And it has that Warhammer kind of aesthetic to the
yeah,
design.
definitely. The idea was
Which,
definitely there, and I feel like they just kind of half-assed it a bit, but you know,
yeah, it's a shame.
it is a shame that that hand is like bugging me too. It's kind of a terrible hand in the way it's holding the sword and stuff. All right, well, let's just hop back to the front page and I will wrap this up. So, thank you guys for watching, and hopefully you enjoyed this and everything. And thank you for joining me,
Adios.
Pablo Escobar,
Mm.
as you will forever be
My
known.
pleasure.
All right, see you guys.